Hey there, and welcome back to an episode of Hyperwatch or Not, a series where I take the first episodes of anime that aired past season that I didn't cover and pack them all into this one video to see if I'll binge them or won't even bother. Binge or not bother doesn't roll off the tongue as well as watch or not, sadly. Today we got a whopping 15 shows to snobbishly reject, but before that the seasons are changing. 2018 is becoming 2019, so comment down below what anime I should watch or not from the winter season of 2019, and the ones with the most comments will be covered as per usual. We have tons of new anime coming and only 12 slots to cover, so get commenting. But now, on to the show. Guess who's back? Back again. Sadly it's SAO. The start was pretty slow, just chopping down a tree, yet kinda interesting because it took place in a new world. It starts off with showing young Kirito in a new fantasy world, and then later on weak Kirito in the real world. And honestly, it just didn't seem that good. It got a whole 40 minutes, double the length that any normal anime gets, and it just wasn't that special. It just seemed like another fantasy world. And because I haven't heard anything good or bad about it since it began, aside from a pretty spicy controversy that happened recently, it just feels like another mediocre addition to the series. Why can't we let SAO die already? Oh yeah, that's right. Whose bright idea was it to make a hentai, but censor all of the hentai? If you didn't get it from the name, conception, it's a story about a guy who has to impregnate a lot of girls in a fantasy world. So you made a hentai isekai, but wanted the whole world to enjoy it, so you censored everything and made it PG-13. Why? I'm not saying that it's stupid, but wait. No, I am saying that it's stupid. Not much to say about it. Seemed like a wholesome show about a girl coming in terms with her sexuality. Got some nice characters in there, some nice animation, but it's a not. Cause honestly, I just don't care about this kind of story. Next. Yay! Vampires! Another genre that has been done to death but is slowly dying in recent times. How does this improve on the concept of bloodthirsty monsters? Well, it has a cute little girl be the vampire in this show and puts her together with another cute girl. If you thought that the age gap in Twilight was bad, at least Bella was legal. But all in all, it is a wholesome, family-friendly gag anime about a girl who befriends a vampire and then they get into all kinds of wacky adventures. Some jokes hit, others don't. It's just okay. No, it's not a Beelzebub reboot or spin-off as I was hoping for. So that was a bit disappointing. Instead, it's a not. Okay, I do have my reasoning for this, so I can pretty much summarize my dislike for this series in one sentence. The Lord of Darkness has been reduced to a cutesy little girl who's tsundere towards one of her underlings. Alright, most of you probably already know this show because it was just hyped up everywhere. One day a girl appears wearing a bunny suit, and surprisingly, it's not an ecchi. What is this madness? No, instead she's doing this because she's invisible, and it turns out that actually only one person in the world could see her at the time. And together they start talking about their problems, and supernatural stuff happens in the world. I almost gave up on it because it seemed a pretty standard slice of life, but the supernatural twist on everything persuaded me enough to give it a chance, so I'll be binging it. Oh wow, so original. You take one of the most copied love stories in existence and put a modern spin on it. I wouldn't mind it that much if it did something, I don't know, semi-unique with it, but it's a pretty standard rom-com where Romeo belongs to one part of the school and Juliet to another, and then they have literal fights in the schoolyard, with almost going as far as raping her. Gee, this anime season had really a ton of rape. Oh my god. The thing is though that at the end of the first episode, Romeo declares his love for Juliet, and she accepts, so they start dating. No need for any poison drinking or dying. They pretty much ended the story with the first episode. I'm fine with it, no more need to watch it. Run with the Wind there's a sports anime about running. The setup is that a bunch of guys is promised a place to live for a pretty cheap price. But unbeknownst to them, the person who's inviting them is actually making a team to enter them into the most elites of marathons in Japan without their knowledge. And they can't refuse, because otherwise they would be homeless. It's pretty cool, but it's running. It's a show about running. Do I look like a person who likes to run? I think this is one of the worst first episodes I've seen this year. It takes something historical, like Joan of Arc and the 100 Years' War, and puts a magical spin on it. So everything happens in a fantasy setting. But it's shit. They introduce random characters, magical elements. It's so convoluted and boring, and I barely could sit through the episode. Not much to say. You have a sister, you have a brother. The big brother is a light novel author who fantasizes about his little sister and writes light novels about her, and the little sister is also a light novel author who fantasizes about her big brother and writes light novels about her big brother. You already know what happens in this show. It kind of feels like we're going downhill with shows right now. Here we have a full-grown woman who just finished her military service and is infatuated with little children, especially little girls. So one day she was passing by a house and fell in love with the little girl in the garden. A while later she discovers that the mom died and the dad's looking for a nanny. And it's her time to shine. She goes out of her way to babysit her and is madly in love with her. Boy, this is way close to pedophilia for my liking. A show about sumo wrestling, but shonenized to the point where the main character can take straight up punches to his face for 15 minutes straight by the most gangster guy in the building. To be fair, it wasn't that bad of a first episode, but it wasn't that good either, and I already got my fair share of mindless violence from binging Baki, so it's gonna get a pass. I have no recollection of watching this. Finally, something interesting with a unique art style and a quirky sense of humor. It's a cheesy police show taking place in the future, I think, where they, I don't know, take care of bad guys. The first episode pretty much ended with one of them being introduced to the team. But while it was different, it's just not worth binging it. It wasn't that different. And lastly, at that time she what? I have no clue why I even gave this a chance. It's a short form anime that's not really even an anime and instead a picture slideshow. 3 minutes per episode to talk about high school drama. Yay. Okay, now you might be commenting down below like, oh, well, you don't like anime, why don't you watch anything? But well, most of these shows were garbage. They weren't good. How much free time do you think I even have? How much free time do you have? I know Isla McTeer who can simultaneously watch 50 different shows. God bless that woman. Just look up her seasonal videos, they pretty much encompass everything. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to comment below what winter anime I should watch next season. Also, I linked all of the autumn anime 2018 that I watched or not in the description, and I also wrote next to them if I watched them or not, so you wouldn't even have to click on the links and see what I did. Genius! Happy end of the year to you guys, and bye.